Hello, welcome to St Saviour's and this month's Families at Thor. It's a shame we can't meet together, but we'll get there in the end. But it's lovely to be able to share with things online. We're going to find out this month about how God is our shepherd, how God likes to look after us and show us his love and concern, just as a shepherd cares for his sheep. So tune in, there's some good activities and everything else.
A Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long.
Hello again, everyone, and it's lovely to be back at Families at Four, making things with you. So as we've been talking about Psalm 23 and Jesus the Good Shepherd and the sheep, I thought it'd be really nice today if we made or decorated some cakes with little sheep on them. It's actually really, really easy to make. So you can make your cakes or you can cheat and buy them like I did. And then you need to make your icing, again, which is very easy. You just need icing sugar and water, and then just a small amount of butter, and then if you like the flavouring, some vanilla essence, but you don't need to add that in if you don't have it. The first thing to do is just to spread some icing onto one of your cakes. And then to make a nice fluffy sheet, like the ones behind me, I'm going to put marshmallows all over it. So these are the sort that you might like to put in hot chocolate on a winter day, or when it's raining as hard as it is at the moment. So that's your first bit, there's your fluffy sheep's coat. Next thing is to choose a chocolate button. Again, put a little bit of icing on that. And there's your sheep's face. And then finally, now you can buy these in the decorating bits, the cake decorating bits of supermarkets. They're called edible eyes. So, little eyes that you can really eat. But again, you don't have to buy these. You could just use a tiny bit of writing icing, like I've got there. And there's another fluffy sheep.
The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me lie in pastures green. He leads me by the still, still waters. His goodness restores my soul, and I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone. For your endless mercy follows me, your goodness will lead me home. He guides my ways in righteousness and He anoints my head with oil, and my cup it overflows with joy. I feast on His pure delights, and I will trust in You alone, and I will trust in You alone. For Your endless mercy follows me, Your goodness will lead me home. And though I walk the darkest path, I will not fear the evil one, for You are with me, and Your rod and staff are the comfort I need to know. And I will trust in You alone, and I will trust in You alone. For Your endless mercy follows me, Your goodness will lead me home.
Show us His love and concern, just as a shepherd cares for his sheep. So tune in, there's some good activities and everything else.
Hey everyone, I was just watching the introduction to this Families at 4. I hope you're all really well. I think some of you will have probably gone back to school, and I hope that's going well. And I've actually gone back to school myself too. Not a school where they teach you English and maths, but a so-called vicar school. So actually one day I could be a priest. But it's just to say, I think it's quite nice to have some things go back to normal. But of course, things aren't quite back to normal, and there's still this thing called coronavirus. And I don't know about you, sometimes it can make me feel sad and unhappy. So one of the things we really hope that with this Families at 4 is that it will have hopefully made you smile. It will have cheered you up to see Father Richard, to have done the craft activity, to listen to the song, and also a big thank you to my cousin Isaac, who read that reading from Psalm 23. And he actually did that all the way on the other side of the ocean in the country where I'm from, the Netherlands. So we've made this really international as well. Let's hope you liked it. I want to end now by telling you a quick story. Before I moved to St. Albans, I lived in a tiny village called Winkle. Most of the people in this tiny village were farmers, and they all had sheep. In fact, my neighbour had more than 100 sheep. And he would take these sheep out into a nice field in the day, but then at night he would take them home, back to a nice, safe, warm barn. I always thought actually to be a sheep is quite nice. In the psalm that we heard earlier, we also hear about a sheep and a shepherd. When this was written thousands and thousands of years ago, to be a sheep was not always so nice. It was dangerous because you would be out in the wild, and at night you would have to be worried about wild animals trying to attack you. There was no nice, safe, warm barn to go back to. Instead, you would need to trust that the shepherd would keep you safe. In our psalm, we hear what happens when God is the shepherd. When God is the shepherd, the sheep don't have to be scared. They don't have to be worried about where they will go and what will happen. When God is the shepherd, he looks after the sheep. It says in that psalm that even when I walk through the darkest valley, I am not afraid, because you are with me. God is like the perfect shepherd, and God is our shepherd too. He's your shepherd. He loves you and he looks out for you. And the amazing message is that even in these strange coronavirus times, God is still our shepherd, and we can know that we're not alone and that he really is looking out for us.